Okay, so Moringa, right. Lots of buzz around this lately. Seems like it's everywhere you turn. And you sent over this this YouTube video that caught your eye.
Yeah.
So we're diving deep today into Moringa, see if we can separate the fact from the hype.
Yeah, so what we've got here is a video from a YouTube channel called Dr. Joe TV. And he's a doctor. And he's doing a week-long kind of self-experiment with Moringa, documenting his whole experience.
He's using it every day, right?
Every single day, yeah.
And the cool thing is, this is not sponsored content. He actually bought all this stuff himself to really test it out for himself, which I think is, makes it more credible.
Yeah.
So by the end of this deep dive, you're gonna know what happened when this doctor used Moringa every day for a week.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Okay, so he's using both the powder and the tea, incorporating it into his daily routine in different ways. Smoothies, oatmeal, even salad dressing.
Yeah, and this is actually a good way to test it out, I think, because it's
like real life.
It's real life, exactly. Yeah.
This isn't just him, taking a pill in a lab somewhere.
Right, yeah.
This is like how you might actually use this stuff.
Yeah.
And he starts off the video by kind of geeking out over the nutritional profile, which I can't blame him for.
Yeah.
It's got omega-3 fatty acids, the good fats, essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. It's got potassium, fiber. And knowing you, I bet that 27% fiber content piqued your interest.
I do love fiber. Keeps things moving.
Keep things regular.
Yeah.
So we're going to go day by day through his experience and kind of highlight some of the things that stand out to us.
Okay, let's do it.
So day 1, he has Moringa oatmeal and reports feeling calm and focused all day long, even though he had some work stuff come up.
Yep.
Some stressful things.
Stressful situations, right?
And he also measures his blood pressure, which we're going to keep an eye on throughout the week.
Yeah.
And clocks in at 112.876, which is a healthy reading.
Yeah.
Now, it's too early to say if the Moringa had anything to do with that, day 1. But it is interesting.
That's a good baseline.
Day 2, he decides to go for a Moringa latte. He makes it with oat milk ginger honey. Says it's delicious.
Oh.
But he does report increased hunger about an hour later, which he thinks might be due to the ginger.
Yeah, ginger is a known appetite stimulant. So it's hard to say. It could be a combination of things.
Right. And it's important to remember this whenever we're talking about food and in these kinds of experiments, is isolating one ingredient is really hard because you're rarely just having that one ingredient.
Right.
And speaking of energy, he actually makes a point of saying that he slept well the night before. He didn't feel any, jitters or nervousness, which suggests that Moringa is probably caffeine-free.
Ah, good to know.
Yeah, if you're sensitive to caffeine.
Yeah.
Day 3, Moringa tea time. He has a cup in the morning, another one in the afternoon.
Okay.
Says he felt this kind of warmth and relaxation after the first cup, but acknowledges it could be a placebo effect.
It very well could be.
Yeah, we gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Right.
His blood pressure was 117/83, so still within a healthy range, no big changes yet.
Yeah.
Day 4, he continues with the Moringa tea, but this time he has it on an empty stomach.
Okay.
And he reports feeling energized and mentally sharp. He even said that some colleagues commented on his spark.
Ooh, interesting.
So maybe there's something to this energy-boosting claim we keep hearing about.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah, he slept well. He's, who knows?
A lot of factors, right?
Could be lots of factors.
Yeah.
His blood pressure that day was 123/7/1, still looking good.
Uh-huh.
Day 5 is where he gets creative in the kitchen. This is fun.
Okay.
He makes a sweet and sour salad dressing with Moringa powder.
All right, I like this guy.
And he goes for like a brisk 90-minute walk after enjoying his salad and reports feeling like super energized, positive mood.
Wow.
And his blood pressure that day, get this, 106/70.
Okay. That's a significant drop.
That is a noticeable dip.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he's being, very clear that he's, maintaining a healthy lifestyle overall. Of course.
He's exercising, he's eating well, so you can't just say, oh, it's the Moringa.
Right. It's all part of it.
It's all part of it.
It's a piece of the puzzle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Day 6, smoothie time.
Oh.
He blends up a smoothie with beetroot, banana, blueberries, strawberries, all the good stuff, and Moringa powder.
Okay.
And again, he gives it the thumbs up, taste-wise, feeling energized, mentally clear. But he's very quick to point out that, hey, it could be the other ingredients in the smoothie too.
Right. Yeah, he's being very level-headed about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
He also mentions that he hasn't had any side effects from the Moringa this whole time.
That's good.
Which is great to hear.
Yeah.
And his blood pressure on day 6 was 112/74.
Okay.
So still in a healthy range.
It's still normal.
Now, day 7, the grand finale.
Right.
No specific Moringa recipe this day, but he does go for another long walk.
Okay.
And checks his blood pressure, and it is 11,164.
Wow, that's the lowest we've seen.
That's the lowest reading of the whole week.
That's interesting.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And, you know, it makes you wonder if there's something to this, you know, if you use it consistently over time, does it have this cumulative effect?
That's a really good question.
But of course, we can't jump to conclusions.
Right. This is just one person.
This one guy, 1 week.
1 week, exactly.
We need more research to say for sure if Moringa can actually support healthy blood pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was Dr. Joe's 7-day Moringa journey.
Yeah.
He gives it an 8 out of 10 in the video, saying, you know, potentially boosts energy, enhances mood, and maybe even supports healthy blood pressure.
I mean, he seems pretty convinced.
He does, but he's also very, very careful to say, look, you know, your results may vary.
Of course.
You know, this is part of a holistic approach to health. This isn't a quick fix.
Right. It's not a magic bullet.
It's not a magic pill. You can't just take Moringa and expect everything to be perfect.
Exactly.
But there's a really important point that I think we need to unpack here before we go any further. And that is the difference between, you know, anecdotal evidence like what we've just seen with Dr. Joe and scientific research and why it matters.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna dig into that next.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we've seen Dr. Joe's Moringa journey, right? His week-long experiment.
Yeah.
But what does it all mean for you? Like, how do we think about this in terms of, you know, personal experience versus the hard science?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, Dr. Joe's video is really interesting. It's definitely fascinating, but you know, it is just one person's experience, right?
Right.
So what works for him might not work for everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you read an online review for like a new restaurant, right?
Exactly.
It can give you a general idea, but your own experience might be totally different.
Totally. And scientific studies are really valuable because they look at a much larger group of people,
right?
And they try to control for other factors, right? Yeah. So it's not just, you know, one person's unique situation.
It's more objective.
More objective, exactly.
So anecdotal evidence, like what we saw with Dr. Joe, you know, it can be a great starting point. It can get us curious.
Yeah.
But we gotta look for that scientific backing too.
Absolutely. And in the case of Moringa, there is some, you know, preliminary research out there that suggests there could be some benefits, especially when it comes to things like blood sugar control and cholesterol.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. But we need more studies, you know, more rigorous studies, especially long-term studies, to really confirm these findings and to, you know, figure out the optimal dosage and any potential risks.
Right. Dosage is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's also important to remember, you know, Dr. Joe, he's a doctor.
Right.
So he probably already has a pretty healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
You know, he's probably already exercising, eating well.
Yeah.
All those things factor into his overall well-being.
For sure. For sure.
So we can't just isolate the Moringa.
Right. It's all interconnected.
It's all connected, yeah. So key takeaways, right? Based on Dr. Joe's experience, it seems like Moringa is safe, at least in the short term. He didn't have any side effects.
Yeah, that's good.
But you should always talk to your doctor.
Yes.
Always. Before adding any new supplement to your routine, especially if you have any, you know, pre-existing health conditions or you're taking medications.
Absolutely. They can help you figure out if it's right for you.
Right.
And, you know, even if more research comes out and confirms, you know, all these amazing benefits of Moringa, it's probably not going to be like a miracle cure-all, you know. It's just one piece of the puzzle. It's
part of a bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly.
So what stands out to you from Dr. Joe's experience? Like, I'm particularly fascinated by that blood pressure thing.
Yeah, me too. Actually, that's really interesting, that downward trend.
Yeah.
But again, you know, it's hard to say for sure if it was the Moringa.
Right. Could be a lot of things.
It could be a lot of things. He was, you know, exercising regularly. He was eating a healthy diet, and, you know, just the fact that he was monitoring his blood pressure.
Right.
You know, that in itself can sometimes lead to, you know, making healthier choices.
Yeah, you become more aware.
More aware, exactly. Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would a controlled scientific study show?
I know, right? That would be amazing.
Could you imagine if we could all naturally lower our blood pressure just by, you know, tweaking our diet a little bit?
That would be incredible.
That would be a game changer.
It would really impact public health.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why research is so important,
Yeah.
Helps us, separate, the hope from the hype.
Right. And make informed decisions.
Exactly.
So this deep dive, it's given us a glimpse into the potential of Moringa,
Yeah, it has.
but it's also really highlighted, how important critical thinking is.
It is. It is.
When it comes to evaluating health information. Right. It's like finding that balance between personal stories and scientific evidence.
Yeah, it's not always easy.
We can learn from both.
Absolutely.
But we shouldn't rely on just one or the other.
I agree.
And Dr. Joe's video, I think it's a great example of how, a personal experience can really spark our curiosity.
Yeah.
And make us, want to dig deeper.
Totally. And that's what we're here for, right?
That's what we do.
To help you navigate all of this
crazy health information.
Yeah, and feel empowered to make your own decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So speaking of empowering, I think we should talk about, what you can do.
Okay.
If you're interested in actually trying Moringa.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so you've heard Dr. Joe's story, we've talked about the science, and now you might be thinking, should I try this Moringa stuff myself?
Yeah, it's a good question. And the answer really depends on you and your individual situation.
Yeah.
As always, talking to your doctor is a good first step, especially if you have any health conditions or you're taking medications.
Yeah, they can help you decide if it's right for you and you know how to use it safely.
Exactly, yeah.
But let's say you do get the green light, right?
Okay.
Where do you even start?
Well, Dr. Joe's video is actually a really good resource for that.
Yeah, he had all those creative ways of using it.
Yeah, he used the powder, the tea, he was putting it in smoothies, salads, oatmeal, you name it.
Yeah, he even made salad dressing.
Right, he did.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was creative.
And if you're not sure where to find, good quality Moringa products, we've got some links in the show notes.
Yeah, check those out.
Look for organic, sustainably sourced options.
Right.
Always
a good idea.
Always a good idea.
Yeah.
But, even if Moringa turns out to be, the next big superfood.
Right.
It's not a magic bullet, right?
No, it's not.
It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly.
And your health goals.
Yeah, it's all about that personalized approach,
So this deep dive, it's been all about Moringa.
It has been.
We've looked at the potential benefits, we've talked about the hype, and we've tried to, give you the tools to make your own informed decisions.
Yeah, and I think we've covered a lot of ground.
We have. We started with personal anecdotes. We looked at scientific evidence and everything in between.
It's been a journey.
It has.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts now? Are you more curious about Moringa? Are you thinking about maybe giving it a try?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
We always love hearing from you. And if there are other topics that you're curious about, let us know.
Yeah, we're always up for another deep dive.
Always.
So until next time, keep asking questions, stay curious, and remember, the most important journey is the one you take to understand your own health.
Well said.
That's it for today.